Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for tuning in on a Saturday. Again, always, I'm in the studios with April Coleman. And of course, my name is Ryan Coleman. Thank you for tuning in. Got a good show for you, as always, right, Ms. Coleman? How are you doing today?
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, you sound a lot full of energy on this Saturday.
I am.
How about those Vols?
I know. Well, that was
an exciting week and got a good game today. So hopefully a good turnout, rooting for those Vols. So if you guys are out in the car, in the studios, wherever you may be, make sure that if you don't miss that game at 7 o'clock tonight. They're playing at 7, I believe, right? UAB.
So I don't know.
Are we going?
I
don't know. Not sure.
Unsure. It's going to be a little bit chilly for me. I can't fit into my coat, so I just realized that.
Me and your dad might go then.
Oh, Dad always goes.
Yeah, we're not sure, but we may be enjoying the game. But thank you for tuning in. We've got a good topic today. We're talking about how to invest in real estate. Mm-hmm. Whether you're buying your own home for the first time, whether you're flipping home, maybe you're investing in a real estate trust. How about multifamily? We're going to talk about all that on Real Estate with Ryan, how to make some cash on your real estate.
You got it.
It's always good to get a good return. Mm-hmm. When you buy something, that's the power of home ownership. Sometimes this actually work to your favor. You make some money. There's also those cases where sometimes it's not so good conversation. Just got off a conversation where we're not getting the return we need. And we had a conversation this week, Ryan. He goes, Ryan, one of my great clients, Ryan, we're looking at an asset that is depreciation. Sometimes we're getting into a higher price point where there's a supply and demand, and that demand is not as heavy, or there's products for other reasons that have sold in the marketplace. Anytime you get into the custom world, and you get your forever home, and that's the hard conversation I was having with another one of our clients was, you've custom built your dream home, your forever home. I'm never leaving. Ryan, they're taking me out in a box. And then life changes, plans change. And when we go back into the marketplace, we have to adjust. And unfortunately, a lot of those upgrades that you made, the marketplace won't tolerate it, or it's not biting. So sometimes that becomes a price issue.
Yeah.
But I think, guys, you have to remember, what always comes down to selling real estate in today's market, or any market that you're coming in, the two most important factors in selling real estate, and I say this all the time, it's not the agent. None of that, that comes into play, but the two most important factors that a homeowner has to make is, number one, why are we selling? Mm-hmm. What's our motivation? You've got to be motivated to do what you need to do. Right. There has to be some reason. We come across those sellers where you put it on the market and they say, well, if I sell, April, I sell. If I don't, I don't. Well, more than likely, those sellers, the motivation's not as strong at this moment. Mm-hmm. And more than likely, they may not do exactly what it needs to do. And then, of course, number two, it's all about the numbers, right?
Right.
Buyers want to get the best deal that they can get, right? Sellers want as much money. And that's what we get involved in real estate, is that meeting of our minds and where can we bring people together. Mm-hmm. So if we don't address those two questions before you put your home on the market, or decide to go through that long process or short period of selling, then it could be a tough road.
It can, you're right.
I think you've got some news, some congrats. We always like to start our show with that. I've got some good news I want to talk about. Thank all you guys that have been voting Best of Knoxville. They came out last week. We did the award ceremony and went down there and do the plaque deal and got a little food.
I ate a lot of food, actually. That's what I did the whole time.
I've got some pictures of April with a little selfie, and she's
scarfing
some food down. So it was a cute picture. Anyway, thank you guys. So officially it's out. We were able to get actually 3 years in the running, 2 years for our company, 3 years for as an agent, Best of Knoxville. So we're excited about that. I think more importantly, we're excited about our company as well, because a lot of the stuff most people really don't see behind the scenes, really our teamwork. And as we're growing rapidly, bringing in great team members to help us. We couldn't do all the things that we do, from Daniel in the studio, from Jim in the accounting, to Holly, to our great people, Christy and Felicia on the phones, and really just helping us bring this aspect together. Really a great aspect, and Justin helping us on the sales force as well. So big shouts out to our team.
You got it.
And thank you guys for voting us.
Thank you.
It means a lot. And a lot of our past clients, I know we get in here and we just want to talk about that. I was chatting with the client the other day. I said the award's big because it's voted by everybody else, And So excited about that. Thank you
It is.
guys. So some congrats, and we'll get right into investing in real estate.
You got it. So we have a few closings this week that we want to say congrats to, which is 140 Westchester Drive out in Avalon. We thank them very much, and we're glad that they closed. Boulder Crest out in Sevierville, she closed on her condo. Memorial Drive, they were able to buy a bank foreclosure that they were able to invest in that we were talking about today. So congrats to them. And then British Station, they also closed. A little bit of a battle, but we finally getting them closed.
A little appraisal battle, but
Yeah.
glad to get that done for them.
I know.
We actually sold their property and had their family member listed at the same time. Really didn't realize that as it came as a choice. They had it in the market a little bit, tried it in the market themselves, and turned it over to us. And it was kind of a unique situation. They kind of ran into the same thing on an appraisal
It was so
issue.
weird.
Really weird.
Like y'all have the bad appraisal mojo in your family or something.
The mojo on the appraisals are really not working. But both custom homes and beautiful properties, and glad to get them sold.
You got it. And we've put some under contract. 911 Ridgeview just went under contract.
Congrats to them.
Yes.
I know that was a property that they were ready to get under contract. And congratulations to, we've got a purchaser that we went under contract in Inlet Drive. So excited about them. Not going to release any names there, but excited about that purchase and so much more. I'm sure we're leaving out.
I forgot to bring my piece of paper with me.
So leaving out so much. More importantly, we just want to get to you this show and thank you guys to get away talking about investing in real estate, types of investing. Let's talk about home ownership, the power of home ownership, and would you consider that investing in today's market? April, let's talk about when you bought your first home. What got you into the market of actually wanting to buy a home for maybe renting in today's market? You got millennials. A lot of people in the marketplaces are not really thinking about buying anymore. It's like, hey, the cool thing is I'll just rent. Or, just no big deal, no rush.
I think because, well, first I had dogs. And so I thought to myself, if I was going to rent an apartment and pay someone else, if I can afford, and this is when I first started working as a nurse, if I can afford to buy my own house, why not buy my own house? So I started on the search to see if that was something that was feasible for me and found one in Halls, just a little rancher starter home, and went ahead and qualified and bought the house. And so I think that was a great starter home for me. And now it is our investment property. So we've turned that from a home to an investment.
Well, I think, one of the things that most people as real estate, of course, we're always selling a product. We are in sales to a certain extent. We kind of feel like we're matching people up to try to solve problems and bringing people together. But the power of home ownership is impactful for families, children. I always say that's just where memories are made. My daughter was born in in the house that April was her first house.
Yep.
And so there's always a lot of memories there. Yes. And it's more than just kind of a piggy bank. But financial ownership, investing in real estate, hands down, across the board, is one of the best investments you're going to make long term. Okay. Right. One of the best financial investments that you can make is paying off your house early. It's going to be one of the best things that puts you in a position to exceed at long term. Listen, there's types of mortgages out there. There's 15 and 30. And our friend Dave Ramsey, and of course, if you follow anything that we've done, if you can get a 15-year mortgage, if you can get a 20-year mortgage, you're going to save a lot of money on the interest rate.
Sure.
And if you could get in there early and pay it off, you're going to be so financially sound that, if you have your house paid, imagine how much money you freed up each month.
Exactly.
To invest in other things, whether it's a 401k, whether it's a REIT, whether it's whatever you want to do. Yeah. And that opportunity doesn't happen until you kind of get out of that mortgage bond. A lot of times we find in the place we talked about our show last week was one of the biggest things. If you're looking for real estate, whether it's investment or residential, stay in your budget, stay in your lane, make sure that you don't go above your budget because just because you can do a 30-year and stretch the payments out may come up to issues that emergency funds need to come in play, so you don't want to be house poor as well.
Exactly. You want to make sure you have that emergency fund, even when you have an investment property, whether it's your house or investment property. Always make sure you have a backup emergency fund.
And as we come into this break a little bit, but the tax laws are now really sanctioned or written for homeownership. They allow a single spouse or a single individual up to $250,000. I think it's $500,000 as a married spouse, and that's capital gains. That's gains from the property if you own it for 2 years. So why not invest in real estate? Look, we're coming on the break. We're talking more about real estate, investing, how to make some money in real estate, even if it's your first home. You're listening to Real Estate with Ryan. I'll be right back after the break.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
You found us a house yet?
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. Hey guys, thank you for tuning back in on the other side of the break. We were talking about investing in real estate. So if you were listening before, or maybe you're just tuning in and you tune into our show. Every Saturday, we're on 2 shows. So we're going to record this. Unfortunately, it's not live. We just physically, we used to do this show live in 2 studios, 2 stations, and we would go back and forth. And I can tell you, there was just no way. We were just too busy, and it was every Saturday was a lot of work. So it's recorded, but if you're listening, we're on Talk Radio every morning, 11 o'clock on Talk Radio, 11 to 11:30. We bring you the up-to-date real estate information in our new time, guys. And there's maybe a little bit of confusion out there, and we've got some marketing pieces that will be coming here on News Talk 98.7. Our new time is 1 o'clock to 1:30. So great primetime slot. Rush took our spot, man. Did you see that? Good old Rush.
Rush with his gold microphone. Why wouldn't he take our spot?
So Rush wanted our spot at 5 o'clock, so we had to give it up. I guess. He didn't give us much to it. So we had to give that spot up. So if you're listening to us, Saturdays 1 o'clock to 1:30 on News Talk 98.7 WOKI. We always enjoy all you guys listening to us there. So we're talking about, on the other side of the break, we're talking about investment on your residence. Let's talk about, April, what the next form that we've done a little bit, and we've helped some clients in investing in real estate to get a gain.
Yes.
Kind of make that flip. Is that
house
flip
flipping.
This house or do a little renovation? So if you guys never heard about flipping a house, renovation, that's where you're going to buy a property below market, do a little work, put a little love to it, and then sell it for a profit.
Exactly.
So investing in real estate. I remember buying our first flip before we were married. I had a property, got involved in real estate, and I was always intrigued. One of the first things I got involved in real estate was investing in real estate. I always mentioned this before, but back in the day, if you guys remember maybe the true back in the day, what do you say, in the 90s, 2000, something like that, a guy named Carlton Sheets. You ever heard of him?
Nope.
So he was a great guy. And he talked about creative financing, just how you could buy properties for, I know you've seen those infomercials. Maybe you did, maybe the Russ Whitneys or the Carlton Sheets. So maybe I'm dating my age, but
a little bit.
You guys probably out there listening have heard those guys. And used to be late night as we're scrolling through TV, and it's like, buy this house, 0 down, and creative financing and different stuff. Well, you thought it was too good to be true. But there is a lot of that was done for the years. You know, some of the mortgages back in the day are FHA, VA, they were assumable. And there was something called non-qualifying assumable, which was a great opportunity for investors. Look, the audience knows what I'm talking about. So a lot of you guys, you've been investing in real estate, been around. You understand back then, as an investor, an opportunity to buy a property was so much easier. So just to tell you a little bit about that, the FHA loans or the VA loan, let's say the market was trading at 6% interest rate, and that was a good rate. Maybe the rates are maybe 7.5 now. We could go into a property, pick it up, assume their loan. I wouldn't even have to have a job. I wouldn't even be employed. I could be self-employed, And there's no qualifying for those loans. And then so really the difference is what the owner's equity, what they're wanting out of the property,
Okay.
maybe the commissions involved, and then the title expenses.
Interesting.
And you could pick those properties up, do some creative financing. They were talking about wraparound mortgages. Anyway, that always really intrigued me. And so we bought one really, really early. I want to say I was maybe 19, 20, my first investment property. And so ever since then, I've been involved from building and things like that. But the flipping, one of our first flips, to kind of get back on that, our flips was an opportunity that I really didn't even know what I was doing. But I was on the show and I was watching the infomercials. So I said, well, where there's energy, we're going to put
Why
some
not?
effort, right? And of course, you live and you learn through that process. But we were able to have some success in that. And with our flips that we've done, have had an opportunity to make some investment real estate.
That's true.
And I think, what would you say to the audience? Maybe you're working a full-time job, but as working for a second passive or non-passive source of income as a side project, would you suggest flipping a house or renovating a house?
Well, we do it. We work full time.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'd say
but
go,
what would
go for it.
I mean, there's opportunities there, right?
There's
Yeah.
always opportunity.
What would you say biggest pitfall would be in investing in real estate?
Or just flipping itself.
Yeah, just say flipping. We'll talk about flipping.
It's hard.
No, what's hard then?
Well, I would just say that.
More specific. April.
I know.
Come on.
Well,
What's hard about it?
overall, in general, it does
Life's
take
hard.
work, and well,
Doing this show. is
but
hard.
but a lot of people would want something. Everybody wants money quick and easy,
Sure,
right? Who
sure.
doesn't want quick and easy money? But if you're ready, and some people may say, "Oh, it takes no big deal to flip a house, whatever, make some money." But when you actually get into it and do it, then you don't really know how much work it is. Not unless the house is just an easy flip and you got lucky. But otherwise, it's just putting the time and the effort and the energy and hiring people to do the work if you don't know how to do the work yourself, and doing it right and not slapping it together and just kind of just making it presentable. For me, it's picking out everything, picking out the colors and the scheme and the tile and the this and the that and everything else. So
I think just the overall amount of time that's involved in it to do it right, to buy it at the right price, to know the resale value, and then to tie all that together to coordinate the subs. And
make
the
sure you don't
timing.
spend too much money.
Yeah, and then keep on budget. So that's a little bit of the juggle, where that old saying, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you don't go out there and try and keep yourself organized, then you never have that opportunity.
Yes.
But there's a lot of deals there still, even in a market where there's less inventory, that you can really have an opportunity to buy it in a couple months, even if it takes you a couple months longer,
Right.
have a possible gain that really makes an opportunity for a second stream of income.
True.
Let's talk about the rental market. So you talked about the flip market, flip a house pretty quickly. That's a short-term game. Let's talk about the rental market. Everybody owns some rental property. Where do you see opportunity in the rental market?
Single family homes,
Yeah.
just like I did, is I had my starter home and then just rented it out and we moved up. And so that's one way. Or a lot of people,
I think that's a big way that a lot of people, they don't go out just looking for investment real estate, but we help so many families where they combine families. Maybe somebody's getting married, somebody's getting divorced, and there's a new spouse. I mean, you never know.
or you just want to just
you
start
want to
buying
upgrade,
single
or you want to go
family.
upgrade. So a lot of those families are able to have a home that they have that either they can convert it to investment property or they could sell it.
Right.
Well, the market's good now to sell it. The question is, with the rental, it's more long-term.
Right.
Real estate over the years have been a solid investment, have it appreciated over time. Maybe not in the next year or two, but over a 10 or 15 year period, is that going to do better than some of the stocks and 401ks and things like that? I would just say for long term, paying off your house, having rental property where they're paying you at an opportunity of a rate that makes sense is a great opportunity
Yes.
to invest in real estate.
Yes.
What about taxation on your rental property? Of course, you're going to get taxed on the rental gains and things like that. One of the great opportunities once you convert it, right, to an investment property, now the interest, the insurance, everything now is a tax deduction. And if there's opportunity where we have a loss or You have to do some fixing. We're going to depreciate that over a period of time. We're going to depreciate the value. I won't get into tax laws because that's obviously over my head. But the new administration in 16 has made, whether you're buying multifamily, apartment complexes, investing in real estate, helping you that rolls on over to your personal return as a great opportunity. And I'll say last, paying cash for an investment. Is that still a sound investment? I think always if you pay cash.
Exactly.
I was talking
Cash is king.
I was talking to a lady the other day, and I was like, what type of mortgage do you have? She was like, honey, I don't have any mortgage. It's paid for.
Good for
I
you.
said, that's the type of mortgage we like. Isn't it? She was like, yes, it is.
That's
and
so funny.
I mean, you've got to really decide whether you should start investing in real estate. That's kind of personal preference. With so many different investments, the stock market's at an all-time high, but like anything at a certain peak, there's always going to be a correction. So keep in mind that everything goes up, but at some point it goes down. Real estate is a real asset that you can touch, you can feel. You can go by and go look and see if your neighbors are there. See if the tenants are actually there, and are they keeping the grass cut?
Right.
Those kind of things. And
Exactly.
you kind of watch home sale values in the neighborhood, right? You get an idea what your asset's doing. And you've always got that opportunity that if you're not happy with it, you can sell it.
You can.
In a position there, what you need to do.
You got it.
Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Anything else you want to tell them before we close out of here in the next 45 seconds?
No, I don't think so. I think we like investing in real estate, and hopefully this is helpful to you because it's just something that we like to do is save up our money and invest. And if you have any questions, you can call us.
Well, if you guys have little ones or any kind of investment down the road, real estate has allowed us, and if you're in the business, generational wealth, that you're going to pass on to your kids. And it's a way to kind of get them going in the future by having real estate and hopefully producing some income, some side money on your side hustle there for your real estate game. As always, we're going to cut out of here quickly. If you need us at 693 Sold. Hope to see you next weekend. Take care.